please turn with me to this is why it's so strange. It's the book of Haggai. The book of Haggai. This is in
Where
the
even is that? Where is that at?
The end of the Old Testament.
it's near the end of the Old Testament. It's in between Zephaniah and Zechariah.
Ne- Next to
I
Habakkuk.
promise this is it's relevant.
Zephaniah and Zach.
In between the Z's, you will
It's
find an
like
A.
2 pages, Colin.
It is.
It's like Habakkuk. Like I didn't even realize
I'm
that
gonna
that
be
was.
honest. I don't think I've ever heard of this.
Hey,
I've
Habakkuk is
never heard of
fire.
this book ever.
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
Haggai.
Haggai, yeah.
I think I made fun of the name a while back. All right.
So in Haggai, you will find these words. We're going to read a little bit more scripture than we usually do here because all of this is important, but I'm only going to focus on like a little part of it.
Is it
So
one?
starting in chapter 1, huh?
Go ahead. You literally just said that.
Oh, starting in chapter 1, verse 1, it says this. In the second year of King Darius, on the first day of the 6th month, the word of the Lord came through the prophet Haggai to Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, and to Joshua, son of Josadak, the high priest. This is what the Lord Almighty says. These people say, the time has not yet come to rebuild the Lord's house. Then the word of the Lord came to the prophet Haggai. Is it a time for yourselves to be living in your paneled houses while his house remains a ruin? Now, this is what the Lord Almighty says. Give careful thought to your ways. You have planted much, but harvested little. You eat, but you never have enough. You drink, but never have your fill. You put on clothes, but are not warm. You earn wages, only to put them in a purse with holes in it. This is what the Lord Almighty says. Give careful thought to your ways. Go up into the mountains and bring down timber and build my house so that I may take pleasure in it and be honored, says the Lord. You expected much, but see, it turned out to be a little. What you brought home, I blew away. Why? Declares the Lord Almighty. Because of my house, which remains a ruin, while each of you is busy with your own house. Therefore, because of you, the heavens have withheld their dew, and the earth its crops. I called for a drought on the fields and the mountains, on the grain, the new wine, the olive oil, and everything else the ground produces, on people and livestock, and on all the labor of your hands. I'm gonna stop right there. I'm stop right there. So the title of this message is very simple. It's called Delayed Obedience. Delayed Obedience. I'm gonna pray one more time real quick. Lord, whew, it's your moment. I don't know how this is about to go. I'm nervous, but I believe that you have something that you desire to say. And so let me be minimized and let you be exalted and hide me behind the cross here so that you can say what you want to say. Let me not say my words, but only yours. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
So I've been doing reading this week, and a few names that you've probably all heard of come to my mind. Abraham, David, Moses, James, John, Peter, like all of these people. There's something that was so dope when I started to read about all of them because God called Abraham a friend. God called David a man after his heart. He called Moses like his servant that he spoke to directly face to face. And Jesus even called his disciples his friends. And those people in the Bible stand out from everybody else because they're called something unique in the eyes of the Lord. To be called a friend, to be called a man after his heart. It's something that speaks to having a deeper relationship than most other people have. And these dudes were not some special whatever, born whatever. They were just like every single man in this group chat, but they had a different, special, intimate, close relationship with the Lord. And there was only one thing that united all of those people. Obedience, 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 obedience. Because here's the proof of that. God said about David, he is a man after my heart. He will do whatever I say. The thing that we are missing in our relationship with the Lord, and the reason why we're not close, the reason why we don't feel his presence, the reason why we aren't walking faithfully with him is because we're lacking obedience. We don't need to hear more words. We don't need to hear more sermons. We don't need to like do any crazy thing. It's the simplest thing we could possibly do. We need to just do what the Lord said. And it's something that sounds so simple, but it's something that most people are not doing. It's something that has become a lost art in the Christian space to just do what God said. It doesn't even register in most people's head. Oh, just do what he said. No, because we always have an idea of what we think God is, and so we just do what our idea is, but we never follow his voice. It's it's Matthew 7:21, where he says, many will come to me and say, Lord, Lord, but they will not enter the kingdom. Because the only people that enter the kingdom are the ones who do the will of God. So there's a whole bunch of people who are doing Christian activities. Like, yeah, I'm going to church. Yeah, I'm reading my Bible. Yeah, I'm praying. Yeah, I'm walking old ladies across the street. But how many people are hearing from the Lord and doing what he said? Because that's his will. His will is for us to do what he is telling us to do. So, what we are missing more than anything is the value of obedience. If we want to get close to Jesus, we have to embrace obedience. Obedience. That's why he called Abraham a friend. And he would like talk to Abraham before he did anything. That's why he called David a man after his heart. And that even when David made all of these mistakes, he still said the same thing about him. It's because they were just faithful to obeying what the Lord said. It's obedience. So we kind of find ourselves in a similar place in this text because we see a group of people who have not learned the value of obedience. So, a little bit of context to what we're reading right now. At the time that this was written, the prophet Haggai, at this time, the temple was destroyed, and all of the Israelites were exiled from where they were staying. They were carried off. They couldn't go to where they wanted to be. They were exiled. And decades later, the Jews were allowed to go home. And so when they finally got home, they started to rebuild the temple, but then they stopped for 16 years. So they were rebuilding the temple. It was the number one priority. Okay, I'm going to rebuild the temple of the Lord. But then they stopped. And 16 years passed before they ever even put another brick on top of another brick. And so in this text, we see the results of them delaying obedience because God says that you planted much, but you harvested little. You tried to eat, but you're never full. Like you're trying to drink, but you never have your fill. What God is saying to the people is, look, you keep delaying what I'm trying to get you to do, and you think that you're living life to the fullest, but I know that you're not satisfied with what you're doing right now. And that really should speak to us right now because, like, there is a place that we could get to where it's if I'm not obeying the will of the Lord, if I'm not pursuing after Jesus, we probably all had times where we would be living life, but we would never be satisfied. We had all the stuff that we thought that we needed, but there was still something missing. Like, I'm working really hard, but I'm not seeming to get ahead at anything. Like, I'm trying to do a lot, but nothing seems to actually pan out. It is the same thing that they're dealing with here that we deal with in our lives. Because when we shift our priority from God to ourselves, building up our house instead of His, life becomes a lot less satisfying because we're spending all of our time trying to gratify ourselves. And so the problem is not that we're not working hard enough, not that we're not doing enough, but it's just that we've shifted priority. We're delaying obedience. We're not doing what he said. We are living the lives that we want to live. And so I have a question. When I read verse 3 and 4, it says, Is it a time for you? Is it a time for you yourselves to be living in your paneled houses while this house remains a ruin? My question is, what are you building? If I look at your life, your time, your energy, your resources, everything, what is all of it going to? Is it trying to build the Lord's house, or is it trying to build our house? Is it trying to do what he's calling us to do, or is it us trying to get ahead in life? Because I know we're in 2026 in America, and the thing that everybody wants to do is be successful, be an individual, get this done, achieve that goal, and do this. And we start to build up a life for ourselves. But is that what God is calling us to do? Because we will do a lot of activities that seem good to us. I'll start this nonprofit organization. I will help this person do this. I'll work at this job. I'll be with this I'll do this and this and this. And we're doing a whole bunch of stuff, but it's not God's will. Because God's will is something that we have to listen to. And so it kind of connects with last week. If we're never reading his word, if we're never spending time with him, how can we possibly be doing his will? And so I think I answer my own question when I ask, because your time, your energy, your resources, whatever all of that is going to, that's what you're building. And that's fine. I can't force you to live any other kind of way. Build what you want to build. Go get your money. Go build your family up. Go do what you want to do. But the thing is that we cannot run from is it will never be satisfying. It will never scratch that itch that we are trying to get it to scratch. Just like Alex just scratched. It will never hit that spot. It will always be a little bit off. And so we have to begin to change our focus and shift our priorities to I'm done trying to build me. I'm done trying to do my thing. And I want to do the Lord's thing. Like, I want to build his house. Because this is how we be. We will build up all these walls in our lives and then focus on what we got in front of us. But God is calling us to go outside of ourselves, to do something else. But the question is, what are we trying to build? Because only one thing's going to last, and it's his work. Our work, it's just not. And so I think the central thing that these people were dealing with, that we're dealing with too, is God has called us to do something. I don't know what it is in your life, or what I don't know what he told you to do, but God has called you to do something, but you're continuing to delay. Something, anything, but continuing to delay. And if we are putting this thing on the back, if we're putting his thing on the back burner, what are we putting on the forefront? It's our own wants and comforts and ideas and security. Because you can't have both at the same time. Either you want all of this stuff for yourself, or you want all the stuff for him. It's what Smith just told us, that I gave up everything, that I gave it all to him. That is what he is desiring for us to do. Because we're never called to stagnation, to just, even when he tells us to be still, we should still be doing something. Like he told Moses and them, be still, I will fight for you. But Moses was still praying. We live so much of the time stagnated. And then what I'm just going to call like prayer paralysis, where we just don't do anything. And we're like, well, I'm just going to wait till I'm sure. I'm just going to wait until I know that God spoke. I'm just going to wait until this. And that is what makes us be like the people right here. They just kept waiting and kept waiting. They said, the time's not yet come to rebuild the Lord's house. So we're just going to keep waiting and keep waiting and keep waiting and keep waiting until 16 years passes. You done put God on the back burner. Now you're not even focused on him, and you're trying to do something for yourself. we have to do something, something. Because when we prolong our obedience to the Lord, he then has to get our attention, which he doesn't really want to do, but it's out of his love that he does it anyway. Because all the stuff that these people tried to do, it didn't succeed. I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to build this up, but it seems like nothing's working. That's God's love that he does that. Because if he let us get so much success outside of him, then we would never turn back. Whenever things start to go wrong, whenever things start to slow up, whenever things start to stagnate, it's God trying to get your attention and say, hey, go do the thing I told you to do. Because the part that I didn't read, if you read a little bit further in the text, once they finally obeyed, three things followed: reverence, God spoke again, and their spirits were stirred up. Like inwardly, they were on fire. They were ready to keep going. We get so stagnant. We don't hear the Lord's voice. We get so spiritually numb and just go and do our own thing because we don't obey anything. We just like like it's a rhetorical question, but like what are you doing that the Lord told you to do? Like are we just like what is the confirmation that we're actually living the way he called us to live? Like what at what point can do we stop saying that we're followers of Christ? Because we can say it all we want to. We can put it in an Instagram bio, we can make it sound good, we can put it on a dating app, but if you're not actually following Christ, then why are you saying you are a Christian? Because to be a Christian, it is to be like Christ. But we're so used to just saying it and claiming the name, but not having anything to back it up. So we will go a long, long time of just being stagnant because we're not doing what he said. Because here's what I truly do believe. I truly do believe this, and strike me down if I'm lying. I believe God talks to us a lot. I believe he's talking to you a lot, but we are missing his voice because of a few things: fear, uncertainty, not wanting our comfort disrupted, doubt. And so we will just wait and wait and wait and like rationalize and talk ourselves out of what he told us to do because we're just afraid. We're just afraid to live in faith. But the scripture says it is without faith, it is impossible to please God. If you don't ever step out on nothing, if you don't ever get out of a comfort zone and just decide to trust the Lord with something that you cannot see, then it is impossible for you to please the Lord because you're not going to get certainty with the Lord's voice. Because what I really do feel like the Lord is trying to tell us today is he wants us to obey him. He wants us to hear something from him and put it into action. Like we've been talking about it, but this is a more like focused thing today to just hear something and do it. Faith comes by hearing, hearing comes by the word of God. He just wants us to do something. Stop standing still. Just do something and stop overthinking and overanalyzing because we put ourselves in such a paralytic state because we're waiting for God to be certain about something. If you're waiting for God to be certain, then you're never going to do it. These people waited 16 years because they were like, well, let's give it a little bit more time. Let's just see if God's going to split open the sky and put a hammer in the clouds and tell us that now it's time to start building. If we're waiting on that, we're not going to do what he said. It's just faith. It's just, I believe God's telling me to do this, so I'm going to do it. And my favorite phrase, I will rather be foolish than disobedient. I'll just look dumb if I'm wrong. That's fine. But what I cannot afford to do is stand still. I was at this place called Lit Pizza the other day, and I was in line behind this dude, and I know, well, I don't know, like I wasn't certain. I heard this little inkling in my heart, just like pay for the guy's meal in front of you. And I was like, I just kept waiting. I just kept waiting. I was like, cool. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Maybe I shouldn't. Well, like, what if he already has a card out? Like, what if he's paying in cash? Well, like, what if somebody already paid? And then by the time I did all my overthinking, the dude paid for his food and was leaving out the door. And it's like we think that we have all the time in the world to do what God is telling us to do when it's on the time clock. Like stuff got to get done. And I would hate if whoever the person God assigned to my life, like let's say my car breaks down and God tells somebody to come help me replace my tire. And they're just looking like, oh, maybe somebody else will do it. I don't know. And they just drive past me. Like I would want that help. There are people in your lives that want the help. Like God is trying to use his people, but his people are paralyzed. We have to do something. We have to do something. We have to do something. And so if you're following here's like a practical steps right here. Practical steps. If you're following the voice of God, this is what you have to understand. Number one, it will always line up with the Bible. Like it has to be consistent with his character. Whenever God speaks, it's going to be something that he already said in the sense of like, okay, I'm going to help that person. Okay, treat people like you want to be treated. Something like that. Nothing too deep, but just it's going to align. Like if you're hearing God tell you, go murder her, it's time. Like it's not the Lord. I'm sorry to tell you, it's not him.
It's done.
It's time. Do it now. It will line up with the word. Number two, whew, and this is where we get into the territory here. Y'all might feel convicted by this. I know I am. We, 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 we are actually hearing God a lot, but we reject him unknowingly because he's not saying what we think he should say. And so it's like God will say something, and like I'm telling you, you do this, and you don't even know it. God will say something, and you'll explain it away. Like, hey, you should text that person. It's kind of late. I should probably just go to bed. All right, you just missed the moment. It's over. So number two, God's voice is disruptive. It comes suddenly, and it will be the opposite of where you're going or what you're thinking. It like when God speaks, it's like I was just trying to go to the store, but now I feel like I need to make this turn and like go to this person's house real quick. Like it's disruptive. It comes up suddenly. Like these people, they were living their lives how they wanted to live it until Haggai came up and was like, "Hey, y'all, it's time to build. Let's go ahead and build something." It's disruptive. Like I was living in my place of comfort, but now I have to do something else that I wasn't thinking of doing. So two is disruptive. Three, this is the big one. It will push you out of your comfort zone. It will put like you it will be something that you like don't want to do. Cause me, I am a very socially awkward person. So whenever the Lord tells me to talk to somebody, text, call, do anything like that, I'm like, okay, I guess it's you, Lord. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Cause that's the part where it's called a denial of self. Like you have to deny something. It will push you out of your comfort zone. And then number four, you won't understand it. You won't understand it. And if you're waiting to understand it, then you're not trying to live in faith. The Lord's voice does not need you to get why it's telling you to do something. Just do it. Just do it. And now, this is all important because what we've been talking about the past couple of weeks have been like concepts of things of like, this is who God is, this is who you are. But there's a certain point where we got to take some action. Like, we're Christians. Like, we're supposed to be advancing his kingdom. We're supposed to be doing stuff. Like, yes, our works are not what save us, but our works are the fruit of our belief. If we're just believing and never doing anything, do we really believe it? Like, I believe this chair can hold my weight, so I sit down on it. But if I don't really believe it, then I'm not going to do it. We have to do something, anything. And I don't know. I just feel so strongly that somebody, I don't know, maybe I've been wrong before, but somebody's just waiting on something when you should be doing something. So we must move even when we think it's the Lord. Even if we have like a semblance, like if we truly believe it, just do it. You don't have to be 100%. Don't stop waiting for 100%. If you think it's him, do it. If you think it's him, do it. Peter said, Lord, if it's you, tell me to come. I'm not sure that it's you over there, but if it's you, I'm just going to step on the water. We got to start stepping in the water. Do something. Something, anything, please. Because you're going to get it wrong sometimes. You're going to look foolish sometimes. Somebody told me a story. Yeah, I was in line behind this. I was in line at the store, and there was a lady behind me, and the Lord told me to pay for her food. And so I turned around and said, Miss, I really want to pay for your food. And she was like, yeah, I'm just door dashing. Like, this isn't mine. And like, he looked dumb. He looked foolish. But God will honor a heart that wants to be obedient to him. It's okay. Look dumb sometimes. You're human. He gets it. It's not about your actions. It's not about like getting it 100%. What it's about is a heart that desires to be after his heart. That's what it's about. Because there's a verse to prove what I'm saying right here. Since, I don't know, maybe you believe me, I don't know. But verse right here, Hebrews 5:14 says, but solid food is for the mature, who by constant use have trained themselves to distinguish good from evil. It's a muscle. Work it out. We're not just going to just understand the voice of God and know when it's him 100% of the time if there's no constant use. If you think you hear him telling you to pray for somebody, just pray. And as you constantly use, you will begin to distinguish good from evil. But what we cannot do is continue to delay, because we've told ourselves that delayed obedience or partial obedience is an obedience that the Lord accepts. It's not. Do it the way he said it, when he said it, how he said it, where he said it. Like, it's not a suggestion. We be thinking of God as like the court jester, but he's the king. You got to do what the king said to do. And it's no condemnation if you haven't. All right, you're not smited, so good job. But like, we have to take him seriously.
Mhm.
What he's telling us to do is for a purpose. And you're not going to hear his voice anymore. You're not going to keep progressing and get super close to him if you don't just obey what he told you to do. So, delayed obedience is no obedience at all. This week, please, this is my challenge to you. If you think God said it, do it. You do not have to be just okay. Yep, I know he said to do this. Like, y'all be hearing me every week in the Bible studies. Like, y'all, I don't know how it's about to go, but I think the Lord told me to do this, so here we go. Do constant use, distinguishing. Okay, that one was just me because I was a little hungry, and so I wanted to get an extra meal. But that one's the Lord because of this. You got to use it though, because if we want to actually move past this casual thing and this distant relationship, we have to start putting things into motion. So, connected with last week, you got to read your word. And like I've been saying, do something with it. Whatever you read, do something with it. But yeah, thoughts, questions, comments, concerns?
Dude, that's so good.
Yeah,
Bro,
you said
I
it was gonna
actually
be
have.
mid. But
Yeah, no, that was good, man.
go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good. Um, yeah, it's kind of insane how like relatable that is for me today. Cause like I was just praying to like today about like, God, like, what do you want me to do? And he was just like, do more. That's like literally what he told me to do. He's like, do more. Like, uh, I was like, all right, well, what does that mean? He's like, do more in your faith. I was like, oh, okay. And so it's crazy, like this whole, I guess you could call it like this Bible study is about, like you were saying, like if you think it's him, just do it. Just do it. Like the worst thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna figure out how to discern what's not him.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that was pretty big. It was pretty cool relation to today.
For sure. He works all things together for the good. So if you get it wrong, you can still learn from it. And if you get it right, great.
I think it's crazy. After what happened last week to me, that you said that God's voice is a disruption, and in one of your 4 points, I haven't told many people, but I lost my job basically last week, uh, and that same night God basically presented me with the verbal offer of that job that I was interviewing for before, if that makes sense. So it was honestly crazy. It happened during the day, and basically my company got bought out, and all of our whole entire IT department and like half of our other working department got clipped. Not like fully clipped already, but like June 30th is our last day, so we have like a month and a half. And then we get 30-day severance. But yeah, it was interesting. And I got home and immediately I was like, "Kevin, can I call you?" And I called Kevin and he was like, "Man, you sound like, you're doing the right thing." But I don't know. It's uh this and reading like last week. Reading, I mean, I read every single day last week. I think I may have missed one, maybe, but I think I read a chapter instead of 3. But yeah, it's just weird how you always come up with something or always say something that's somehow related to my life over the last week, and yeah, it's just crazy. And going from shifting, you said shift from uh like our priority to his will be satisfied.
Mhm.
Like I think that was a big thing as well, because before this I was still dealing with a lot of like mental health issues and things like that, even like when we started like 6 months ago. And then ever since then I haven't had any mental health issue at all. Like
Mm.
it was a
Amen.
it was a really big part of my life. I've had mental health issues for a long time, and it was crazy. It just vanished once I started putting my faith in God. And yeah,
Yeah,
enough of
man.
me.
Yeah, for sure. We be thinking that satisfaction comes from our possessions, but it comes from his
Mhm.
presence.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, I go next. Go next. So I thought it was really interesting, and it's 100% true that God talks to us all the time. And what I've been praying for recently is just like, God, help me to desire a relationship with you. Like, help me to want to come and read the Word and hear from you and be with you. So literally every morning He's just been like, "Hey, come hang out with me, come talk to me."
Mm.
So it's been super easy to read my Bible. This past week I did 6 days. Uh,
Amen.
every day. I didn't do it yesterday. I was traveling yesterday, went to Lindale to surprise old Jacob for graduation party. But yeah, so I think that's really what he's been saying to me. He talks to me a lot of the times like what you're saying is, if you think it's God, just do it. And I get a lot of that stuff, but I get wrapped up in like, oh, I don't want to be overbearing, or like, oh, I don't want to seem like I have like an abundant, like more like, if he said, hey, go pay for that person's food, it's like I don't want to seem like I'm better than you, like I have more than you, so I can do this for you or whatever, right? Like, so I do still get caught up in some of that stuff, but I think the theme of this past week for me was just like him saying, come hang out with me, you know.
Mhm.
So that's kind of, that was cool.
Dope. That's what's up. 6 days. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Like
Um,
I add one day like every week. So I started at like 3 weeks ago I was like 4 days a week, and then it was 5, and then now it's 6. So hopefully
Progressive overload.
hopefully this week's 7.
Yeah, then the next week's got to be 8, bro.
Yep, got it. Lock it in.
I think kind of on the same wavelength as Gavin, like really trying to hear God. Like my prayers have changed, and like they're like not like better than they were before, but like they mean a lot more than they did before. And like I'm really like talking to God and like praying for like guidance, or almost like, especially like getting into the word every day is like I pray to hear him and for him to show me his will in my life, or the next move, like even if it's just like chess, and he's like, I want you to go, you know, go to this place and do this, or like, oh, go to Washington, or like, just somewhere random. It's like even just the little day-to-day things, like just let your will be done and not mine, in the sense of like, and really how I've been praying recently, like, God, show me your will, show me what you want me to do in my life. But that was kind of on the same track as Gavin, my prayers, to like really hear God.
I think I'm going to touch on something that you touched on at the very beginning. First of all, it's a privilege to be here. I'm glad I can finally join you guys. I've been trying to join for like past 2 weeks. Life's busy, but touching on the busyness, I've started this book called the Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer, and it's how to stay emotionally healthy and spiritually alive in the chaos of the modern world. And I think that that touched on what you talked about, Kevin, at the very beginning, talking about being able to discern God's voice from, the worldly voices, TikTok, all these short contents, just how good it is to take your attention away. I could sit here and like my candle took my attention a couple times, I think that's a big thing I'm working on, is being able to be still enough, but actively still also, like you said, in the presence of the Lord, so I can understand like what are just the voices in my head, and what is coming from the world and what the world wants me to do, and what I feel like the busyness and the hurry in my life that I'm pursuing, rather than taking time to be grateful for what the Lord has given me, and not jumping just onto the next train and just heading in the opposite direction of where I need to be. So I think that's a huge thing in my life, especially just finishing graduation, kind of getting out of like a truly busy time, and now getting into like employment and stuff, and just realizing that like right now I'm sitting in a prayer that I once prayed, and to be thankful for that.
I like that.
Willis is deep in thought, bro.
Oh no.
Anybody else?
Am I allowed to talk again?
Yes, please.
I want to do better with like one, trying to pray for other people, because I feel like I Kevin's always talking about how he's praying for other people, and I've noticed. I had a thought earlier today that I'm not. I don't pray for. I hate saying this out loud, but I don't pray for any of you. Like, it's just. I mean, that's the reality of it. But, uh, I don't know. I just feel like I should be drawn to, and like I am drawn to, but I just don't. And I don't know. Maybe you guys could help me out by selfishly praying for me and helping me do that. While I try to take that on as well. But I don't know. I've been trying to do that for a while now, and I just can't bring my. I don't know why. I just can't really bring myself to do it sometimes, and it's been bugging me and eating at me a little bit.
I can pray for you, bro.
Thanks, Jarrett. I'll
Got you.
I'll try I'll try to pray for you too.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I do understand kind of what you're saying, Colin, in the sense of like sometimes it's easy to forget about like
Yeah.
the things that aren't right in front of you,
Mhm.
especially like which I mean I do the same thing selfishly. Like I'm like I get like when I'm in the Word, it's me and God, but then
Yeah.
like also it's I mean the second greatest command is like
Yeah. I was just
love your
about. I
neighbor.
was
So
literally
it's like
just about to say that.
it's hard to like pull the focus away from yourself because I
Mhm.
struggle with that too,
Yeah.
and like really reach out to especially people that are all like everybody in this chat like really trying to pursue God. It's all the
Mhm.
same. We're all pursuing the same
Yeah.
God, but we lose focus of like our fellow people that aren't right in
Yeah.
front of at the
Yeah.
time of our prayers.
Yeah. What you thinking about, Kev?
Silence.
Ted put his message in the chat.
We did. I
Oh,
didn't
let me
see it.
read that.
Yeah.
I'll read it aloud. I
Thank you.
thought this was an urgent reminder to do more. Reading my Bible daily is great, but what am I doing if I read the Lord's word, but in the same day turn my back on his word and do the opposite? It was a brutal but good reminder that delayed or just straight disobedience is unpleasant to our Lord, not to condemn myself or anything.
Bro, that's so fire. I do that all the
Yeah.
time. Bro, I like read the word, be like I'm gonna do that, and they do the complete opposite that day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that is so real. Oh my gosh. Like, what did he say? What did he say? He's like, what good is it if I read the word and do the complete opposite of
Yeah.
the day?
Mhm.
Dude, that's so good.
Yeah. It's real
Bro,
too.
that's so
I
real.
mean,
It's so real.
I
Yeah.
feel like I do that too. Sometimes I feel like it's even hard for me to even try to figure out what it's saying. Like sometimes I'll read something and then I'll be done reading it and I'm like, what just happened? Like what? And then
Yeah.
I just don't even go back and try to decipher what happened, just go to the next day. Like that's something that I need to be better about.
Mm-hmm. I know what you mean.
You like that?
Well, that's, you look like you got something to say.
Oh no, no,
Not yet, still cooking?
huh?
It's still cooking?
Yeah, I'm just letting everybody talk.
I'll go ahead. Yeah, uh, I thought the message was really good. Um, this past week, no, I had said the last 2 weeks that we talked about our weeks that I had y'all that I was hadn't. This week, I really got into Matthew. I read all the way up through Matthew 21 over
Let's
the
go.
course of 4 days.
Banging.
Amen.
I kind of lost some discipline over the weekend when I realized that I could get some sleep. And that's just totally on me, misplacing my priorities. But um, I noticed how, or not noticed, but I really took in how Kevin kind of reinforces a lot that
You keep
when
cutting
you
out a
read
little
his
bit,
word.
Case.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good.
Kevin just reinforces a lot when you read the word that you need to be doing something with it. Um, so I really tried to focus on just praying for understanding before I read, so that I'd be able to take things from it. And something I tried to focus on this week was just really just the way that I speak, whether that be just in conversation or about myself or about other people or even just the language I use. Just because what people hear me say is that's what I'm giving to them. That's what they're taking from me. And if I'm not giving what the Lord wants me to give to them, I'm working against him. So that's really what I tried to focus on, and I struggled a lot. My mind would drift, or I'd get into some conversation, and I would just let whatever come out of my mouth. So that's really something I'm struggling with. I mean, I find it really difficult to overcome, but um, I would just ask that y'all can. I know Colin asked as well, but if y'all could just keep me and just keep those things in your prayers. Just because I really struggle to do throughout the day what I tell myself I'm gonna do. But
Gotcha.
as far as reading this week, it got a lot better, and it did help me out quite a bit.
Let's go.
Amen.
Let's go.
That's a
Let's go.
win. That's a win. That's a win.
Big W.
That's a win. That is a huge win. Huge, huge, huge win. Cade, Alex. Oh, sorry, I got you mid bite. My fault.
Yeah, like to start off by saying, like Seek, honored to be here.
Happy you're here, brother.
Uh, yeah, I think I really took from the message to say that, you know, you're going to get the most out of what you put your time to. And I find myself a lot, especially even just, for example, at work. And I've got a lot of downtime. I get stuff done that I get done. I need to get done, and I've just got all this downtime. And what do I do with that downtime? Am I diving into the Word? No. I mean, there's times where I do, yes. That maybe preparing for the Bible study that I do on Wednesdays, yes, but not nearly enough is put into that. To where am I putting that time? What am I growing and what am I doing with that time? And so I think I want to apply that a little more, is kind of recognizing what I'm doing in my downtime rather than, yeah, I mean, for example, I leave work. I mean, I've got stuff I got to do. I'm moving back to Texas, all that. It's like, that's one thing. Just got to prioritize that. But when I can't help it and I have that free time, I need to try and recognize, where am I putting my thought? Where am I putting my heart? What am I doing? What am I feeding into and trying to grow? If it's something meaningless, for example, doom scrolling on social media, what am I gaining from that? Like, there's plenty of time for me to dive into the word and actually grow from it. Just like I've seen you guys do countless days on end of sending in all the stuff that you're reading. You know what I mean? Like, that's something I can do. I want to do that more, you know? And just to touch on it as well, like with Colin, you know, I first started doing a Bible study with some other friends, and the thing about it is, you know, I had a lot going on in life. Like, me and Michaela broke up. I was finishing up EMT. I was deciding I was going to move back down to Texas. It was all happening within the span of 3 weeks. And I mean, I was kind of stressed to begin with, but that was also the same time where I really prioritized the Bible studies I was doing. And to circle back to Colin, is the more I put into my faith, the less I was stressed about everything else going on in my life. I could, when Gavin lost his dog in Stigler, Oklahoma on Easter, I sat there and talked with his grandma about it for an hour, talking about how I've never been happier in life, even with everything that's going on, you know, losing a loved one, a significant other, and it just didn't pan out the way. And I've got this big change coming to my life, but I've never been happier. I'm not stressed, and I fully, completely say that's the Lord's work. Like, that's what He did in my life. He gave me that ease of heart because I let it and I put it into His hands for Him to control. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of one thing I can tie to that, but Yeah, I mean, that's that.
I would like to. Oh, hold on. Cade put something in there in the chat.
I'll read it again. I can't speak right now, but as always, I need to continue getting my priorities straight. I need to continue putting time aside to focus on what really matters. I will get home and just want to relax, and when that is a perfect time to read, or even waking up 30 minutes earlier to just read in the mornings. It's something I need to continue to work on.
I think what I was about to say actually perfect encapsulates like what Cade just talked about, what Alec just talked about, Gavin, like everybody. I think it's a good reminder to have realistic expectations when we're making these changes. I mean, everything we do on a daily basis are habits that we've built over the last 20, 22 years, however old everybody is. You know, it takes 21 days to start a new habit. So not everything's going to be perfect. You know, we're starting to do things and we're starting to recognize things that we want to do and how we want to improve, but you're not going to be perfect. You're not going to be 7 for 7, you know, 52 weeks out of the year. It's not going to happen that way. And God doesn't expect us to be perfect either. He just expects us to give effort. Um, I think it's to be like you're going against the grain when you're doing all these things. So that even though we're trying to get comfortable in the Lord, it is uncomfortable to get to that comfortable place. This quote, this is probably my favorite quote of all time, but consistently good beats occasionally great. And I think that's something we could all kind of like think about as we make these changes.
Hmm. Wow, I like that.
Well,
Cade says amen. Kevin,
Hmm?
what you got, man? You just look like you're about to drop a bomb.
Oh, nah. Nah.
I'll
Huh?
also add that there's one thing when it comes to praying that I've really forced myself to do, to really get consistent with, make a habit out of. First thing I do every morning is pray. Last thing I do every night is pray. And you talked about how it's hard to pray for other people, but that's kind of something I try and prioritize is thanking the Lord for everybody in my life and praying
Mm.
for whatever they may be going through, but especially trying to prioritize praying for not something that I want, but what the Lord needs for me. I try and pray for His guidance, everything that He wants for me,
Mm-hmm.
rather than what I just selfishly want in the moment.
Yeah.
Man, I really want this week to go amazing. I want this to happen. I want this to occur. I need this to feel more comfortable. Yeah, you can pray about that, but in hindsight, I try and pray for Lord. You know what I need. I don't have to specifically pray for that. You know exactly what I need in my life. I put it in your hands. You give me what I need. But in the meantime, thank you for everything that you've already given me. Thank you for the friends that I have, this group that I'm with right now. You know what I mean? Like trying to prioritize all the other things except for myself in my prayers.
Yeah, I've been trying to be better on not being selfish, especially in my prayers. So that's just something I'm gonna have to get better with over time and ask God to help me with.
Um. Uh. Any questions at all?
Are you okay?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel weird. This feels weird. I don't know, but it could just be me. Could just be me. Could just be me.
Did I say something to offend you?
Oh no, no, no. No one said anything to offend me. I'm a little strange. Sometimes I just start feeling weird about things. But that's just a me thing.
What are
But
your
yeah,
thoughts?
huh?
What are your thoughts?
Uh I don't know. I think I just wanna pause on this, but like think I just want to go deeper into something. Like I don't, but like it's just a generalized thought. Like the only word I could think of is just like shallow, and I think part of that or most of that could be on my end. Um, yeah, I don't know, but like it's nothing like aimed or directed, but I feel like there's another level. But like I said, that's just how my thoughts about certain things.
You're saying you feel like we all of our answers were shallow? Is that what you're saying?
No, no, that's not what I'm saying.
Sorry. I just wanted to preface before I started assuming.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I just think, as the whole, um, I don't know, whoever took Miss Snow's class, I just like kind of think about it like I just want to get to more depth. Like I don't know, like because I'm just like when I just like look at this, I'm just reading it. It's the people here are like God literally told these people, "Hey, you're building yourself a house, but my house is in a ruin." And I begin to think about that, and I'm like, it just kind of challenges me. And I sit here and think to go and build the Lord's house, it is no longer putting all of my effort into building mine. And it's like, I just think even the depth of that, it's like, I just been thinking about like, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Like, to I'm not building my life anymore. Like, I'm building for Him. I don't know.
I I could kind of, if I may, um,
Please.
I kind of could, I don't know, feel like something like when you're talking about like surface level or shallow, more of like don't like stop picking up all the pieces. Stop trying like God doesn't call you when you're perfect. Like in a sense, like God calls you when you're broken. Like he he's the he's the builder in a sense, not like obviously not in this story like sense like they're stop building the temple, but like stop trying to pick up all the pieces like fully rely on God in a sense. Like stop trying to put it back together, stop trying to fix the little broken pieces, or like you see a mistake like and you keep trying to like fix it, right? Or like patchwork, but it keeps falling off and you're like, well, I just got to, I just got to keep like patching it up. And it's like stop and like let God fix you. Lean on him to fix it cuz he made it in the first place. I don't know. I was kind of
That
feeling that
makes sense.
with like the
I think
shallow
I
like
finally,
good.
I think I got it. I think I got it. It is on me. It's my fault. It's my fault. Um, yeah, that's the thing that's missing. Alex and Jacob are here, and it's like I feel like I don't know y'all right now. It like I know I don't because I haven't seen y'all in a long time. But it's like, what's going on with y'all? Like, what's up? Like, and so I take the responsibility because I was just sitting, I'm just like, yeah, like shallow. I think it's shallow. I feel shallow because it's just like if we were to just be like, okay, all right, see y'all next week. What I know about Jacob is he just read a book. And what I know about Alex is he's moving and he had a breakup, which is a little bit more deep. But like, what are y'all going through? Like, what's your walk with the Lord like? Like, how is life?